my favorites. It's called Cedars of Lebanon. The concept behind it is the expression, I'm carrying a torch for you. You'll be familiar with the expression, and it means that you basically have feelings for somebody, but those feelings might be requited or unrequited, as it may be. But basically, I looked at it in a literal sense that if you're going to take a literal torch and you wanted that to convey the message that you care about a person, what type of wood would you use? How would you fashion it, and so forth? So in reading the Bible, you find that in the building of the temple in Israel, they were very specific instructions about using cedar wood for the inside of the temple and overlaying it with gold and so forth and so on. So this poem is called Cedars of Lebanon. They're looking for us to lead them into love. For the longest time, I carried the biggest torch for you. I ripped it out of the bleeding bosom of a cedar tree of Lebanon. But you don't hear me though. In a treasure trove of cedar groves, there are evergreens that forever grow. Seasons change and it never shows, cause these trees, they never stray, save upwards. With a bark that is etched from the marks of the stretch of striving to drink from the clouds while feet stay parched in the earth, upwards. With needle-like leaves that are striving to teach buildings what it means to scrape the skies upwards, forwards. I hurtled forward towards this forest, having too often been thrown into the throes of reckless abandon, only to find my soul trampled under souls then recklessly abandoned, having wearied of being wary of false affection and feigned fealties, of distressing damsels who disdained detection, whilst in reality they came with a charm that is disarming. They taught me that love is a battle, but I resigned my commission from this army. I was looking for better wars for my metaphors, so I put down my pen and my pad and I tried to shut forever's door, but I was hurled through. Hurt and riddled with scars, I decided I would seek shelter in this cedar's shade till it only hurt a little. And when the memory of prison suffering had been reduced to a mere murmur in the chambers of my heart, I pronounced that I would love again. And though I stammered a little, I grabbed both hammer and chisel and set to carving. I took the wood from that tree, fashioned the good that could be, and made a torch from it. I overlaid it with gold and placed it in my own two palms to hold, so that when I met you, I would have more to present to you than the mere time on my hands. So when I say that I'm carrying a torch for you, understand. I carved it out of the bosom of a cedar tree of Lebanon. Understand that with more time spent in my hands, it took on features like the fibers of my being, and I hold it out to you in the hopes that when I meet you, I'll recognize you to be a woman taken from the fabric of a dream. And you are. From the way that you walk like there is a dance bound in your frame, to how even music lacks luster compared to the sound of your name. Your laugh, which is a musician's invention, or your silence, which is a miner's reward. I would that you would take some of that fire in your belly, use that passion to light it, and see that I would love you from the deep ends of my heart, where the flavors of my affection are concentrated. Like a deep thought, you leave me both shaken and stirred. See that I would bind myself to you at an altar and proceed to suckle the honey from the moon. Because of time without you, I have surpassed my quota. So I'm here with everything, leaving nothing in reserve, here to give you every dot and every iota. I would even honor the marks on your celestial body, because I understand. These aren't scars, these are hieroglyphs. And hewn into you, I read them. As I tune into your rhythm, I become consumed by you, my prism. You add color to the light years of my life. So I'm carrying a torch for you. I ripped it, I carved it, I dug it out of the bleeding bark of the cedar tree of Lebanon, to light the path to the great trees of Mamres, where God comes. Thank you.